Hey everybody, welcome back to George Does Stuff, the worst knife review channel on the internet. A moniker that I think still holds true to this day. Video's a little bit delayed. I've been kind of busy with work and holidays and all that fun stuff. So I apologize for a little pause in the cause, but we're going to get back and get rolling here. Today I am featuring a knife that has probably been on this channel couple times. You've probably seen me do it for unboxings and stuff like that. This is the MASALONG KNI215 Ultra Mini Pocket Knife. This knife is teeny tiny. I mean, those are normal fat human fingers, and look how small that knife is. It is a little tiny knife. But, this knife is well, there's a couple things about it that are very unique. One is that it's got D2 steel, which everybody knows by now. I love D2 steel. It's a flipper. We'll get to that in a second. But it also uses TC4 titanium. And it's got MASALONG's little logo on there. It's a kind of a neat little logo. They sell a variety of other knives. As far as I know, this is their smallest. And also, as far as I know, this is probably one of the smallest flippers I've ever seen. This thing is it is a tiny little knife. The flipper, you gotta work at it, but you can get it to do it. It is not an easy feat to flip this knife open by any stretch. But I think it's a really great design. And for me, this knife is just basically it's a glorified box opener. Box opener, letter opener, light duty. It performs brilliantly in that function. It's a fun little guy to have around. But one of the things that I think is the most unique about this knife, it's not the jimping, it's not the little pseudo spidey hole, it's not the bizarre elevated pivot. I'm not sure what that's all about. To me, the thing that's so unique about this knife, it's also a frame lock, which I think is pretty cool. But if you notice, when I turn it over, and we'll turn it over again, there's no pocket clip on this knife. This is a pocket clipless knife. Not a lot of knives can claim that feature, and to be honest, it's actually kind of nice. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is that there's no lanyard hole. It'd be great if you could, put a lanyard on there since there's no pocket clip. But, I don't really carry this knife. You can easily have it disappear in your pocket. It's a tough little knife. I mean, you got titanium with D2. It's actually relatively thick, comparatively to a lot of other Chinese knives. I mean, it's got a nice chunk of D2 they have there. I cannot testify as to the hardness of this D2. It is stonewashed, which is also kind of a nice feature. I mean, this is a really well-constructed little knife, but it's just a weird knife. But I like it a lot. The current price of this knife is $25 on Amazon. I got this for $22 for a sale, but I mean, the difference between 22 and 25 is negligible. But this is just a great little knife just to keep around. If you don't want to have a utility knife lying around, this is a great replacement for a utility knife. It will take a pretty good edge. It is pretty cool. This also has pin stop and deployment, but I don't. Can you use that? I mean, this knife is so hard that it's really hard to manipulate it with one hand. At least with my old clunky man hands that I have. But there's really no need for that because the flipper, like I said, it works. Now your flipper functionality ratio for me, at least when I first got it, was probably about, 50%. So half the time, I mean, if you don't put a lot of meat in it, of course now it's gonna make me a liar, but I did lube it up earlier. But I mean, it's not hard to make it fail at all. It is not a difficult knife not to launch. And of course, what happens is if you do that, you tend to tense up. And as you tense up, if you're not paying attention, you put it on the frame lock and it gets almost impossible to open. So since it's so small, you have to kind of think about what you're doing when you deploy it. But when you do, it's a good knife. It's a really good knife. I have enjoyed this. I have put my own edge on here a couple times at that price. You can kind of see that from the factory. Now I didn't reprofile it, but you may be able to see from the factory that it's got kind of a uneven edge. You can see it's thinner on this side, then it thickens out the bevel right there. It's kind of the same on the other side. Maybe able to see that. But I mean, this knife isn't here to win beauty contests. This is a knife that, you know, you just beat the hell out of and you know, keep around for you know, for light duty tasks. You know, if you know, I needed a knife to survive with, you know, out in the jungle or whatever, this is not the knife I'm taking at all. This is but you know, for what it's designed for, or what I use it for, it works perfectly. It is, you know, this is my basically dedicated Amazon box opener. If I have a little piece of string or something laying around, I need to use it, I use it for that. But other than that, it's just a handy dandy little guy to keep around. It's not expensive. It's very well built. It's what I consider to be pretty damn cheap at $25. I'm sure you can find it on sale. I think there may be a couple different scale colors available. The one on Amazon, I believe, looks to be brown, but it's actually this blurple, I believe. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, the photographs on Amazon are not that great. So, but I mean, I use this knife enough and enjoy it enough that I think it deserved its own little video. And what do we all do? How do we close out the George Does Stuff videos? Well, we gotta do a little paper cut test. Well, I zoomed out way too much. Yeah, look at everything on my table. All right, so let's see how it does. Now, I've put an edge on this. No promises, but it should work just fine. Let's see here. Ah, yes. And let me tell you, this particular phone book paper is terrible. So if it's able to get through there, that's not too bad. It's obviously it doesn't look as good as it on the other side, but no, it's got a nice edge on there. It's a little blade, but it cuts clean, and you know, I highly recommend this knife. If you're looking for just a little kind of classy box opener, letter opener, you know, just a kind of knock around knife, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Again, this is the MASALONG KNI215 Ultra Mini, and yeah, check one out. I think you'll like it, or maybe you won't. But either way, I just want to say thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. I apologize that there's been a slowdown in my videos, but I'm going to try to pick that back up. I do have some knives. One's being delivered today. The other one should be here this week. I'm going to try to incorporate some more USA-made knives. I have no issue with China-made knives, but hey, there's nothing wrong with knives that are made here in the good old US of A. So thanks again for watching. Y'all take care. Appreciate you. I forgot to do size comparisons. Let's throw some knives in here to compare this to, which I think is a great way for people to understand the size of the knife. There is the MASALONG. Let's back out. Whoa, take it easy, folks. Take it easy. All right. So there's the MASALONG KNI215. There is the Para 3. You can see it is just dwarfed by the Para 3. There's a Para 2, which just looks like a gargantuan knife in contrast. This is a Spyderco Native 5 in S90V, one of my favorite knives. This is the Cold Steel Tough Light. That's the full-size Tough Light. Review coming soon. Review possibly coming soon if I haven't reviewed it already. And also, this guy's compadre and a direct competitor to this knife, with a pocket clip, the Tough Light Mini. So, very comparable in size, very comparable in price. This is actually more expensive. But I would heavily recommend this knife over that knife. Long story, but we won't get into that right now. And finally, here is the X-Took, X, whatever you want to call it. Just to kind of give you an idea of the size of this knife. It is a small knife. It is a small knife, but it is a highly functional knife, and I very much enjoy it. Very much recommend it. Thank you all again for watching. Take care of each other, and we'll see you soon.